The stunning and magnificent landscape of the Al Qudra Desert in the United Arab Emirates. Its sometimes harsh tranquility is about to be broken. As man and machine race across sand plains and dunes in the 2017 Dubai International Baja. Huge skyscrapers of steel and glass dominate the Dubai skyline. This fast-growing city is quickly becoming the global hub for business and tourism, and the nearby Al Qudra Desert will play host to the inaugural 2017 Dubai International Baja. Some of the world's best drivers and riders will rub shoulders with local privateers and enthusiasts on an international stage. Cars, bikes, buggies and quads will race across some of the best desert racing terrain in the world in the 3 fast but brutal stages. Man and machine will undoubtedly be pushed to the limit. Welcome to the 2017 International Baja. Forming the second round of this year's FIA World Cup series for cars and buggies, the Dubai International Baja is also the opening round of the FIM Bajas World Cup for bikes and quads, and is a key event in creating a bright new future for rallying in the region.
This is very important for us, to have this event, part of the World Cup.
This event is not just a warm-up, it's a real event and the competition. I'm very impressed. You see, if you have a birth of an event, it shouldn't be orphaned. It has to be a proper, legitimate birth. And this is what we are doing with the Dubai Baja. It's part of the big picture.
It was all smiles at the ceremonial start, as His Highness Sheikh Mansour bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, along with Mohammed bin Sulayem, President of the Automobile and Touring Club of the UAE and Emirates Motorsport Federation, flagged off each and every competitor. The following morning, the adrenaline was flowing. The service area a hive of activity as mechanics busily made last-minute checks and adjustments. Drivers and riders, meanwhile, checked through start times on the official information boards. The waiting game was finally over. The 2017 Dubai International Baja was good to go. Stage 1 was a brutal 91 kilometers of sand and dune, bookended by testing sprints. One at the start and then a long, bone-shaking sprint into the finish. It was the bikes who got the Baja off to a flying start. Fresh from winning the 2017 Dakar Rally, bike racing superstar Sam Sunderland was in a determined mood.
First race back from the Dakar. Obviously these races are pretty strategic and starting first is not ideal, but I'm happy to be back racing and we'll see how we go.
Given the strategic nature of the race, Sunderland changed his choice of bike in order to get the maximum performance.
So this is the KTM 450 SXF, just a bit of a conversion with a bigger tank and the roadbook on there. Just because of the nature of these kind of races, all in the dunes, you're a bit better on the smaller bike.
Following in Sunderland's tracks, fellow Brit David McBride was second off the line on a KTM 450 rally. Followed by one of the region's best riders, local favourite Mohammed Al Balushi. South African rider Mark Ackerman was determined to make a name for himself, and he flew off the start. At 2-minute intervals, the intrepid riders headed out into the testing dunes. The big news from stage 1 was the early retirement of the hot favourite Dakar Rally champion Sam Sunderland with mechanical problems. The field was now wide open, the big question being who was going to capitalise. It was Dakar race engineer Benjamin Mello who set the early pace, but the competition throughout the field was fierce. It soon became quite apparent that Mello of France was now on a real charge. He completed stage 1 in top spot, holding a 1 minute 28-second lead over South African Mark Ackerman, with Italian Alessandro Rosso back in third, just ahead of top Emirati rider Mohamed Al Balushi. After a brutal, energy-sapping first stage, it was still pretty tight between the top 4 riders.
I just started like, yeah, we'll see how it goes and just follow the road book, follow the cap, and let's see how it goes. And I was really surprised. I thought, yeah, that was far back, and then the guys came here to tell us the order, like the results, and yeah, that's cool. I'm pretty happy.
In the quads, Mohamed Al Shamsi took control of stage 1 right from the start, posting a leading time of 1 hour and 17 minutes and 41 seconds. In the auto class, all eyes were on reigning FIA World Champion Nasser Attiyah. Always calm, his relaxed demeanour and smile hid his steely will to win.
We are so happy, to have a small race here before Abu Dhabi, thank for Mohammed bin Sulayem, to push and to get this race happen here in Dubai. This is fantastic. It's look like today will be very sprint, like maximum, but okay, the atmosphere is really nice.
Nasser Attiyah and co-driver Mathieu Baumel would face fierce competition from Sheikh Khalid Al Qasimi and Khalid Al Kendi in their Abu Dhabi Racing Peugeot 2008 DKR. Attiyah powered away at the start and then took a completely different racing line to the bikes and quads. The power and speed of his Toyota Hilux tore over the dunes. Attiyah, as expected, set a blisteringly fast time of 1 hour, 4 minutes and 7 seconds. But hot on his heels and was bang on the pace until he sustained damage to his jack halfway through the stage. However, he still managed to finish the stage in a solid second place. Mohamed Abu Issa finished in third, just behind the top 2, in a good time of 1 hour, 11 minutes and 17 seconds. The competition in the auto classes was full on, as each competitor attacked the dunes for the best racing line. Most competitors flew over the dunes with ease and speed, but some found trouble, needing a helping hand to get going. After nearly 92 kilometers on a tough stage 1, it's advantage Attiyah and Baumel.
Not easy, from beginning, but okay, we enjoy after the last part, because we know, we understand the area. And yeah, we are leading now by 4 minutes, 14 seconds. This is really a good start. We have now around 2 hours, regroup, and then we start next stage, 80 kilometers. I'm not sure how it will be, but it's look like will be similar of the first stage.
Nasser Attiyah happy with his morning's work, but second place Sheikh Al Qasimi still wants more.
Yeah, it was a good day. I mean, for sure, we're learning a lot. For cross-country events, it's nothing compared to the other drivers where they have at least over 100, 150 rallies. But we're trying to be with the top boys and we're trying to give them a hard time.
However, Al Qasimi found navigating the dunes pretty testing in his Peugeot.
Fortunately, they built this car for a terrain where, like Dakar and something, over here, a lot of sand, a lot of dunes. At the end of the day, you struggle on the short dunes where the car struggles a little bit. But to try to carry good momentum, we try to drive it in a different style that it can be using the torque. We had few issues. This morning we had an issue with the jack went down and it's hydraulic. I'm used to everything defined with notes and really everything it's there. But again, it's part of the learning. It's part of improving. But it's not learning and being at the last. I'm learning and battling, at the same time trying to be in the podium.
After an hour or so's rest, it was straight into stage 2. Another brutal 82 kilometers of navigating, testing dunes and baking hot, flat-out plains. With Sam Sunderland out of the competition, the man to beat on the bikes was top race engineer Benjamin Merlot. He rode out first into the second stage. If he was feeling any pressure, he wasn't showing it. He held his nerve, speed and racing line, and as a result held his lead over the second stage. Second placed Ackerman was right behind, trying to pile on the pressure, waiting for his moment to pounce. Speed and patience now the name of the game for the South African. Ruoso of Italy kept third place and Al Balushi still back in fourth. After 2 stages and nearly 174 kilometres, less than 4 minutes separate the top 4. The question being, can race engineer turned racer Merlot of France hold out for a famous win?
I thought, well, if we did it for stage 1, we just gotta keep going and let's try again. To be honest, I was a bit lucky that we didn't start on the result, depending on the result of the first stage, because then I start again on the back. So I didn't have to follow, I didn't have to open and just, not to follow, but still doing navigation, but it was not really tricky, to be honest. So just have a nice flow, but to be honest, I didn't know where I was, because I knew Mohammed was on the gas and he was really on fire. He wanted to go good. So yeah, just try to avoid mistakes and it worked, yeah.
In the quads, Al Shamsi kept the lead, but top female rider Liparotti had now pushed up to fourth. In the auto section, the full-on duel between Nasser Attiyah and Sheikh Al Qasimi continued at a pace. Attiyah was in no mood to relinquish his lead and again took breathtaking racing lines through and over the dunes. Al Qasimi pushed hard in second, doing his level best to claw and eke out any time from his rival's lead. But after 2 grueling stages, Nasser Attiyah holds the lead just ahead of his big rival, Sheikh Al Qasimi. It was equally full-on in the other classes. Emirati driver Ahmed Al Makoudi, partnered by Obaid Al Kitbi in a Polaris, finished the day leading the buggies category and holding 9th place overall. In the production cars class, young Emirati driver Mansour Al Halay in an Abu Dhabi Racing Land Cruiser had carved out a 5-minute 34-second lead from the Nissan Patrol of UAE-based Emil Nasser. Saudi Arabia's Yassir Saidan in another Nissan was 2 minutes 40 seconds further back in third. Two stages down, and each rider and driver now know the score. The Al Qudra Desert had tested both man and machine, and some big names have dropped out. One final double-length super stage to come. Who will take the honours in the 2017 Dubai International Baja? Come back soon and find out. Welcome back to Dubai, a global hub for business and tourism and the host of the inaugural 2017 Dubai International Baja. "60 riders and drivers have raced across 174 kilometres of testing dunes and plains in 2 brutal stages. There's obvious camaraderie between all the competitors, but it's race engineer turned out-and-out racer Benjamin Merlot, the man to beat on the bikes. And it's Nasser Attiyah who holds a 2-minute lead in the autos against his big rival Sheikh Al Qasimi. Stage 3 was an amalgamation of the 2 previous stages, another grueling 174 kilometres. Race strategies will undoubtedly change. There will be a myriad of tracks from the previous day's racing that will confuse the senses in trying to get the optimum racing line. Add into the mix a shifting wind. Conditions are set to be difficult.
I think it's going to be actually more difficult navigation today because you're going to have to look out for there'll be tracks going everywhere. You've got to pinpoint your route exactly. It's actually quite difficult, the wind picking up as well. So I think it'll be harder than yesterday and slightly slower.
As on the previous 2 stages, it was the bikes who kick-started the final stage. Just under 4 minutes separate the top 4 riders, and Melo of France will do his level best to hold off the stern challenge from the chasing pack. And the Frenchman knew right from the off how difficult this stage would be. Being the lead rider brings with it its own pressures and choices. Race hard or race conservatively, with the hope that his 1 minute and 28 seconds advantage would be enough. For Ackerman back in second, he knew he'd have to be on it right from the start and bring his experience to bear. And that's exactly how things panned out. Melo had slowed down 80 kilometres into the stage. Ackerman clawed back the time and overtook the Frenchman. Local hero Al Belushi was not satisfied with fourth and took off like a man on a mission on the final stage. He rode hard and fast, eventually overtaking the experienced Italian rider Ruoso to finish a well-deserved third. Indeed, the final stage proved to be brutally telling and took its toll on all the competitors, but they were all determined to finish the race in style. And this is how the final standings looked after the 3 full-on stages. Third, Al Belushi of the United Arab Emirates. A brave effort from Benjamin Melo of France finishing second. And first, Mark Ackerman of South Africa finishing just 29 seconds ahead of Melo.
It's never simple. It was a tough day, but coming in with second place with 1 minute 28 behind, I had 2 minutes behind. I knew that I had to catch Benji. And just stick with him. So the first part of the stage was really hard work. It's awesome feeling. It was good fun. Nice to get out there. We had lots of guys out there. A lot of guys are pushing it today and a couple of international guys visiting. So definitely biggest one and very happy about it.
Yeah, that was fun. I mean, I knew it was going to be hard to keep the lead because, yeah, with Mark starting 2 minutes behind. And we raced together in the Bajas and National Series, and yeah, I knew he got the speed. And like obviously when you're chasing somebody you always get faster, and when you see him it's always easier to come back on him and you can see how drops are and stuff. So yeah, he did a good job, and yeah, I tried as much as I could, but then I started to get some sketchy moments. I was like, I don't want to take any risk. It's okay, it's like that. For me, I didn't even expect to be here racing. There was no plan, and just like 10 days ago Stuart said, yeah, if you guys want to come, and then so yeah, why not? We just come and have fun, and finally it turns up well. It was a really cool event and it was cool to be here with the guys.
The well-deserved second place finish had prompted Melo to think again regarding his future as a racer.
Next year normally I should go for Dakar, so that was the whole idea about that. So this year preparation and next year, but just for finish, and yeah, it's like a challenge I want to do.
It was Kuwait's Fahad Al Musallam on a Yamaha 700 Raptor that won the quads title. Al Musallam finished just over 18 minutes ahead of his nearest rival. Italian female rider Liparotti gritted it out to finish third. As far as the cars and buggies were concerned, it was a case of same again for stage 3, and Nasser Attiyah knew exactly what he was going to do.
Not a big change, because okay, we repeat the same stage now. The stages will be 170 something, Okay, the road, I think it will be more easy, but we need to be more clever. If you see today is a lot of dust, I am sure it will be not easy for everybody, but okay, we try to do our best and we are in a good lead now. Yeah, we need to reach the finish with a good point. Okay, we have a good strategy, and we know what we need to do for the sand, and this is not a big problem.
Second place Sheikh Al Qasimi was again focused on the job in hand and would just try and put into action all that he'd learned on stages 1 and 2. Abu Issa in his Mini would go all out to try and improve on his third place.
Today is just about trying to get a bit of some time on second position. He's 3 minutes ahead. We'll try and push. It's a Baja, it's all about, it's not like a 14-day rally, so it's 2 days, so I need to try and get some time trying to get second position. And in the meantime also try and save my third position as well, so without making mistakes. That's what we're trying to do. I need to follow the notes. That's super important. Even though you've done them, that kind of increases your confidence, but you shouldn't. You should really drive it as if it's a new track.
No surprises then that Nasser Attiyah set out with the intention of wrapping up the final stage as quickly as possible. He wasn't bothered by the previous day's racing lines, and he pretty much went out and made his own tracks. His speed across the dunes was such that he began to reel in the last of the bikes towards the finish of the final stage. Back in second place, Sheikh Al-Qasimi pushed hard, never giving up, even if he knew deep down it was all to no avail. Abu Issa in the Mini was still back in third. He now had a different strategy, defending his position rather than trying to catch up Al-Qasimi's Peugeot. Nasser Attiyah and his co-driver Mathieu Baumel were all smiles at the finish. The win at the Dubai International Baja, the perfect preparation for the up-and-coming Abu Dhabi Desert Challenge.
I'm quite happy, to win first race in this region. This is very important for the championship, and we are looking for next race, Abu Dhabi. It will be not easy, but it's good, to have 30 points here and to win this race.
Sheikh Al-Qasimi and Al-Kendi finished in second place with a well-driven final stage.
As you can see, it is a very dusty day. We had a few places where we couldn't see the track and we have to turn around and go back again 2-3 kilometers. It's quite difficult. You cannot see, cannot see the dunes. You cannot see. So that's the biggest problem today. Is with the dust and a lot of wind and carrying a lot of dust. It's very difficult to see. So we try to carry good momentum, and we have one or two small moments, but that's part of the rallying, and we're happy that we finished, and it's a good experience, a good learning curve. Every time I'm getting better, and every time we're just trying to see why this car is very difficult on the sand. So I'm just trying to use my own technique.
And Mohammed Abu Issa was pleased with his third place finish.
Yeah, it was longer than yesterday, of course. We had a break yesterday, but it was nice also to get it done with. You're in the rhythm, you stay in the rhythm till the end. We finished, I think we did well, a lot better than yesterday. I think we're third overall now, so I'm really happy, my first Baja, and I couldn't be happier. At the end, I have to admit, the last 20k, 25ks was not very, with the clouds and stuff, you can't really see the dunes, and the last dunes were white/yellow, so it was not easy to see, but we got through it, thank God, and we're here now.
For the rest of the chasing pack, they raced as hard and fast as they dared. Towards the end of the grueling third stage, many of the cars caught up with some of the bikes and quads, with the finish line in sight. This is how the auto class finished up. Attiyah and Baumel clear winners, completing the 3 stages in less than 4 hours. Just 8 minutes separate second and third. 8 drivers completing the grueling Baja in under 5 hours. In the other classes, young Emirati Mansour Al-Halay, partnered by experienced WRC co-driver Chris Patterson, was an impressive winner of the T2 production class. And finishing 7th overall, Ukrainian driver Vadim Prituliak, driving solo in a Polaris RZR, edged out the UAE's Ahmed Al-Makoudi and Obaid Al-Kitmi by just 9 seconds to capture the buggy's title. The inaugural 2017 Dubai International Baja has delivered, setting sound foundations for the future.
Now where the challenge started, it is like how to sustain this event. Yes, the only way to sustain it is just not to be an organizer, but to be a promoter. An organization, yes, with all the experience that they have, with a good team, it's manageable, it's achievable. Whereas the proper challenge, the real challenge comes is from us being as a promoter. It took us, I think it was not a miracle, but it was a hard work to get our sponsor, which is Nissan and Abdul Wahid Rastamani. On top of that, definitely we have the ruler's code. But motorsport in this type of the world is always government driven. You have also to rely on the private sector, and that's where the real challenge comes, especially with the automobile industry. It fits so good in it. So now actually we start how to sustain it for the next year. And also it complement Abu Dhabi Desert Challenge and the Qatar Rally.
So congratulations then to Qatar's reigning FIA World Cup champion Attiyah, partnered by French co-driver Mathieu Baumel in a Toyota Hilux. Sheikh Khalid Al-Qasimi and Khalid Al-Kendi a clear second in their Peugeot 2008 DKR, and Mohamed Abu Issa with Frenchman Xavier Panseri third in their Mini All-4. Congratulations also to Mark Ackerman, who takes the bike's crown. A brave second for Benjamin Melot, and top Emirati rider Al Balushi takes third. Some of the world's best drivers and riders rub shoulders with privateers and enthusiasts in testing Al Qudra Desert. The result, a fast and exhausting rally across some of the best racing terrain in the world. The 2017 Dubai International Baja delivered. Goodbye and thank you for watching.